Alright, welcome back to another Elden Ring stream. Today we're continuing our journey, Journey 3 or New Game Plus 1. And we're up to basically the Lanedale, the capital, in the Outer Plateau, so decent way through, the sort of midway through the early game, or like, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, so yeah, we're just up to the we're up to what do you call it? The Draconic Tree Sentinel. So if we just turn the HUD back on. Yeah, so we're about to fight him, so let's heal and apply some of our buffs. Golden Vow. Do we have enough of that? No, we don't. Okay. We'll heal once more. And then we can go and fight him. Might summon the Mimic here. Okay, let's get him. That was that was easy. Mimic tier? OP, please no. No, please don't nerf. It's good where it is. Okay, so that's the first boss of Lanedale capital done. We'll just rest here, get our blasters back. By the way, I hope you guys like the music. I'm using this thing called Epidemic Sound, so it basically is like royalty-free music that you can use on streams and in videos and stuff without getting copyright claimed, which is cool. You do have to pay for it though, so I'm probably not going to use it all the time, but at least while I'm starting out, I'm going to use the free trial period and then maybe try it out. Keep trying it out for a few more months, and then probably, if you guys didn't know, I make my own music as well. So I produce sort of like hip hop, jazz, all sorts of stuff on my computer. So yeah, I can play the piano. I'm currently learning the guitar. So yeah, no. So eventually, I want to have all like my own music for streams and to be able to play that in the background. But for the time being, since I don't have the right sort of music that I want for streams, I'm going to just we'll build that collection up and make things specifically for my streams. And then once that's built up, then I'll probably stop using Epidemic Sound. But for now, it does the job that I need, and it works really well. And there's tons of stuff for all sorts of different situations and moods and all that sort of stuff. And oh, hello Melina, what are you doing
My
here?
utmost thanks for bringing me here And thus, I shall depart. Farewell. I shall leave Torrent. I wish you luck. I have no doubt.
May you take the throne. Okay. All the spells we need. Let's go. Yeah, you might be asking, why am I using Comet Shard when Comet's more powerful? Well, Comet Shard has better damage to FP ratio, so it's more efficient. And also I'm using Lusat's staff, so since it increases the cost, I want to have something that's a bit cheaper but is still quite efficient. So I'd rather cast this than waste all my points, or waste all my FP on Comet when I can get something that's slightly better, not as much damage, but still pretty close. And if I want something like a single, you know, like if I want burst damage, I can use Renala's Full Moon, which does way more damage than Comet would, and it also reduces magic defense. The next thing I really want to get is Ranni's Dark Moon, that I really want to get and replace Full Moon with that, because apparently both of them reduce magic defense by 20%. But Ranni's Dark Moon causes frostbite buildup, which actually you know lowers. I'm pretty sure it's most damage negation or physical damage negation. Some damage negation by another 15 or 20%. So yeah, frostbite is really good. So I do want to replace Full Moon with the Dark Moon eventually, and it better fits out the theme of our build being the Dark Moon Lord. Where are we going? This way? It's out here. Okay, so there's a lift, and out here is something. Oh, this is just the little mini area. Ow. Yeah, if you have the Godfrey's icon, a lot of spells that can be charged are actually pretty powerful. Like 1000 damage with Glintstone Comet Shot, like it's pretty good, pretty good. So yeah, no, Godfrey's icon is really good. And, I mean, in the end, since most of my spells tend to be charged spells, and I do charge them, having the Godfrey icon on tends to... I forgot that. Oh, because earlier on I was using fire incantations when I was doing carrion mana. So yeah. Do I go that? Or... could just go Graven Mass or I don't actually have the Graven Mass Talisman because I've never finished that quest line, so that's one thing I want to do this journey, is actually get the Graven Mass Talisman. Thinking, is there something that's more beneficial? Axe Talisman? I don't know whether that increases Darkmoon Greatsword's attack, like the beam projectiles. Ritual Sword could work well. I mean, we're generally at full health quite a bit because we have so much health regeneration from both our flask and Blessings of the Erd Tree, so that could work well. Wondering whether it might be worth taking a few points out of... So okay, so I need 88 to have a medium equip load. So what what do I have if I'm just using, for example, not Shard of Alexander, but if I'm using the Blessed Dew Talisman, where is it? Why can't I find it? It should be here somewhere. Blessed Dew Talisman. It's maybe up the top, yeah. So I'm at 74, so okay, so I need quite a lot of equip load. Yeah, it's probably not worth going up that high. How much is Erdtree? Erdtree gets close, so it's just another 8, so I could put like 3 points into endurance and then I might have enough. Oh, I probably need more, so trying to get the right balance is tricky. What if so if I take that off, I've got medium load. What can I use that still looks good but isn't as heavy? So I don't need a ton of poise with this build. What about Black Knife Gauntlets? That might work well. Black Knife. Aha, okay. That works quite well. And we've still got 40. Have we basically got the same poise with medium equip load? That's insane, okay. And that looks good. I like the look of that. It's a bit different with the silver. I prefer the black and gold, but if that gets us medium. Oh, for fuck's sake. So, pretty much everything is fine, but as soon as... Wait. Why does... Oh, yeah. That's annoying. That's really annoying. So basically, if I have anything higher than 52, I'm like... heavy load. Okay, so Blessed Dew weighs 0.6, so... Okay, so I need probably just one more point in endurance and I should be fine. How much runes do I have? I should have enough to level up now. So if we just go back to East Capital Rampart and level up. Yeah, a few more points of endurance and I should be good. But yeah, it's just nice to have the extra health regen and constantly without a spell. So it's always good. Level up. So endurance. So that should give us enough. Yes, it does. So awesome, perfect. So 28 endurance, and we've got Malachus Helm, Bladed Armor, Black Knife. So yeah, that's perfect. Perfectamundo. Awesome. So we've got Blessed Dew Talisman, Godfrey Icon, Ritual Sword. Kind of do want to have Ritual Sword. I don't know what order I want to put them in. Probably the things that can be swapped easily, I'll probably put in there. So Ritual Sword, we don't always need that. Godfrey we always want, and Radagon we always want. So we'll put Radagon and Godfrey right next to each other. And then the two end slots we'll have as things that can be swapped. So Ritual Sword and Blessed Dew, because we don't have to have Blessed Dew on all the time. So Ritual Sword, Godfrey, Radagon, Blessed Dew. No, sometimes I just like the way they're organized just by the way it looks as well. I don't know how to describe it, just looks kind of like aesthetic when you have it in a certain order. Like that kind of looks cool. I don't know how to describe it. Do I want to put Blessed Dew there and then put Ritual Sword on the end? No, actually Radagon here. Radagon icon, and then Blessed Dew. Yeah, I like the look of that. That actually, I think that looks cool. And I can swap Ritual Sword and Blessed Dew Talisman pretty easily. Yeah, no, that looks good. Alright. Alright, enough organizing. Let's get on with it. Now, I don't know whether I should try hard on auto. I usually like having all of my things display, just because I generally like to have that, but I might try auto just for a bit and see how it goes. Yeah, I don't like it disappearing because then I don't know how much. Yeah, I don't like it disappearing and then not knowing how much FP I have and stuff. Like, it's not so bad on a melee character that doesn't use much FP, weapon skills, but on a character that has a lot of spells, kind of relies on the HUD quite a bit. You don't want to just get rid of the HUD or have it on auto. This way, yeah, I can always see how much FP I've got, how much everything's working out. Whee! Why not that? Where's the page? Isn't the page usually here? So yeah, when I'm not streaming, I usually get 60 FPS, but at the moment I'm getting between like 30 and 45, 50-ish. So sometimes I get way better FPS. It just depends on the area. So I apologize for not having a smooth 60, but this is probably the best way of doing it so that it can go to 60, but yeah, I didn't want to set a frame rate cap of 30 because I was like, well, it looks nicer and much better when it's 60 or higher than 30, but yeah, it is a bit annoying that it dips between 50 and 30. I would like to have a perfect 60 FPS, but I'm running this off of my laptop, so I have a gaming laptop, and it's on the more, I wouldn't say budget side, but it's on the lower end of the spectrum because it has 3050 Ti, so not the most powerful graphics card, but it still can run 1080p games in high, some games even ultra, especially the older type games. So it's really good. It's like latest generation of graphics cards, and it yeah, 1080p games can run fine, like really well. And it can run things in 4K at like probably medium or high graphics, and it can do like 30 FPS, so it's like, it works really well, but it can't do 4K 60 FPS and stream at the same time. That would be way too much for it. So how is that not an actual NPC or enemy? Anyway, so it's very good. It was a very good price point. I got it on sale for like, I want to say like 1600 Australian. So don't know how much in US dollars that would be, but it's not super expensive. And like for a graphics, like for a gaming laptop, that's a really good deal because most of them are in the like $2,000 range. And so I was really happy with what I got. And now they're selling, like these days, they're selling the same computer but with the 30, I think it's a 3060 I want to say. So I mean, I would like to have that version, but I'm not going to. If I'm going to get another game laptop, I'd get one with a slightly better graphics card and slightly upgraded processor. I wouldn't just get something that's the same because there'd be no point in upgrading. But no, I'm happy with my laptop as it is right now. Like, I don't want to get a new one for a long while. I'll wait till maybe the next gen of graphics cards come out. But I probably won't get the same equivalent. Like, I'll get one that has, like, for example, something like a 3060 or a 3070 in it. But when the next gen comes out, whether it's the 31 series or whatever they call it, I'll get the slightly higher range one, not the top of the range, because that's just way too much to spend. Yeah, it's too much. But I will get something equivalent to like a 3060 or a 3070 because I like having the portability of the laptop, being able to take it on holidays or to other places. But I also like the fact that it's really powerful and it has a similar power to a desktop gaming PC. So it's kind of versatile in that sense. So I can use it at home with docked monitors, or yeah, have my dual monitor set up and have my laptop as the third monitor for extra stuff for like emails, calendar and stuff. And still have the desktop experience with the keyboard and mouse and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's like the ultimate way of setting things up. If you can get a good enough laptop that you don't need to upgrade every few years, then fuck, I got distracted. Then it's much better than having a desktop. A lot of people say that's blasphemy. It's like, no, you have to have a gaming desktop. It's the best, it's the cheapest, it's the most efficient. But I think if you get a good gaming laptop and you are going to use it portably, like if you're not going to take it with you everywhere and you have something else like a tablet or something that's more portable, then yeah, sure, maybe it's not the best option. But if you have enough money and you use it for purposes other than gaming and you want to do work or study, like uni work with it, it comes really in handy because it's really powerful. It's powerful as a good gaming desktop, but it has the option of portability. And I just like that flexibility. I like having things that can be flexible and have multiple roles. So for me, that's why I got a gaming laptop. Like I considered getting a desktop, but I'm like, I do a lot of, like at the time I was doing study, and I also like to game portably and on the go. Like if I'm, because I take public transport quite a bit, like if I'm on the train or whatever, like I like to play games while I'm on the go as well to just fill in the time. I also read comics and read other things, and I don't always game on the train or whatever, but I still like to do that because it's super fun and it's a good way to fill in some time that would otherwise be a little bit boring. So yeah, and that's why I have a Switch. But I'm considering getting the Steam Deck or the AN Neo next, or whatever it's called. Because I love the portability of the Switch, but I just wish it had a bit more power and the ability to play PC games. Like I think that's why when the Steam Deck comes to Australia, it's gonna sell like hotcakes, and I reckon no one's gonna until Nintendo release the next generation of the Switch. So whether it's like the Switch 2 or whatever they want to call it, it's not going to be able to compete with the Steam Deck. Like, the only thing it will have over the Steam Deck is the great exclusives. I mean, Switch has some of the best exclusives. I mean, the exclusives are kind of old now, like they're not as new, but there's still some of the best games, like of all time. Like, Breath of the Wild, some consider it to be one of the best games ever. I'm not of that opinion. I still think it's in the top 10, but it's not like in my top 3. But that's because I haven't finished it and I haven't put as much time into it. So that might change, but I definitely think it's up there. It is definitely a 10 out of 10 from what I've played so far and seen of it, but it's not my favorite 10 out of 10. So yeah, so I think, and there's also Super Mario Odyssey, another, I want to say it's almost a 10 out of 10, but I'd maybe say it's more like a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. Again, I've played through most of that. Absolutely amazing game. It's really good, utilizes the Switch graphics quite well, and it looks really pretty for a Switch game, and just for a game in general. And the controls, the ideas, the mechanics. Oh, it's my favorite Mario game, and it's probably my favorite platformer. Like, it's just really really fun, and yeah, I love Super Mario Odyssey. It's great. But apart from those two, and maybe I'm trying to think what else. But yeah, obviously they're the main draw cards of the Switch. Like, they've always been the major flagship games that you tend to get a Switch for. And I mean, there's also Pokemon and there's other things, but I think for the general gamer who's not specifically into Nintendo, I feel like Zelda and Super Mario Odyssey are like the key games of that. I'd say for me, another reason I really loved my Switch was that it had Monster Hunter Rise on it. Now you can get it on PC, so it's not as important, but I think if you don't have a PC, Monster Hunter Rise is another really good reason to get a Switch, because it is a fantastic game. It works really well portably, great for playing with friends. Monster Hunter Rise is in my like top 3 favorite games at the moment. Number 1 being Elden Ring, number 2 Monster Hunter Rise, and then number 3, I'm not entirely sure. I want to say, like, at the moment I'm really enjoying Jedi Fallen Order. But I don't know whether I'd say it's in my top 3. I mean, it's really good. It's in my top 10, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But damn it. But I want to say, yeah, it's definitely in my top 10 or top 5, but I'm not sure about top 3. But it's really fun. Like, Jedi Fallen Order is just so cool. Getting to live out the sort of like the Jedi fantasy, like just, you know, swinging around your lightsaber, having, you know, it's got good combat, like, that's inspired by Sekiro and Dark Souls. It has the exploration of like Uncharted. It's really cool set pieces and other stuff, but also being relatively, having a relatively open map design and being able to explore and unlock shortcuts like a Souls-like. Because it is a Souls-like. It's very inspired by that, and while you don't have a huge amount of like weapon and playstyle customizability, there is still a lot of other customizability in the fact that, you know, you can change your lightsaber color, you can change the look of it, you can change your outfits, you can change. It's more cosmetic than functional customization, but you can choose in what order you get, you upgrade your skills and your abilities. So, like, early on, yeah, there's choice of customization, but once you reach endgame and you unlock everything, it's kind of like there isn't as much, really. But still, it gives you a lot of freedom in the way you choose to upgrade, and there is multiple ways of playing. Like, you can sort of like specialize. You can sort of focus on doing mainly heavy attacks and breaking stances. You can focus on crowd control, but there's all these different options you can use to tackle content in it. And I also like the fact that it has a difficulty slider. I personally play it on the hardest setting, which I think is cool, because it feels more like a Souls game, and it feels more challenging. Like I'd say, playing it on Grandmaster difficulty is kind of like playing Elden Ring on New Game Plus, but from a brand new game. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know, I find it cool, and it's more satisfying to land the parries because the windows are tighter, and it's more rewarding when you get them. But also the fact that it does have a lower difficulty setting for people who just want to enjoy the game and not have to worry about perfect timing and that sort of stuff. And that's always a contentious thing in the Souls community, is like, oh, there should be a difficulty slider and accessibility. I'm like, in that argument, I'm a bit of a fence sitter. I see both sides being valid. Whereas like the side that, oh, it should be pure and, you know, you should keep it the same difficulty because then it ruins the experience and it ruins the sense of community everyone gets from overcoming it. Which that's valid, But I also think there should at least be a a story mode or some sort of just a slightly less challenging version that people who aren't really avid gamers and just kind of are in it for the story and the experience and the world building, but can also enjoy the combat but not have to worry about being as perfect. But I do think I would be apprehensive about how that's implemented. Like I think it would need to be implemented in a way that, you know, you get more rewards or regular amount of rewards if you play on the normal difficulty, but if you play on the story mode you get slightly reduced, like, you know, reduced amount of souls that you collect or reduced amount of other loot or whatever. I think that's the best way to do it. And if you play on normal, even if there's a higher difficulty, you get increased rewards, so you're rewarded for that difficulty level. Because I feel like, you know, if you played New Game Plus and Elden Ring, or New Game Plus 1 or whatever, and you didn't get more souls to match the increased difficulty, it would kind of be like, well, what's the point? Like, I know I'm playing through it again, but, like, why shouldn't I just start another new game? Like, well, obviously you keep your weapon, so that's a big draw card. But at the same time, yeah, you need that extra incentive to play through again. It's like, if they're harder, why should I do this again? Why not just start a new character and, yeah, so, yeah, I think that's the best way to implement it. It's the best of both worlds. And I'm a very sort of balanced person. Like, politically, I'm balanced. I'm in the middle. Most things I think there should be, you should always consider both sides and hear what the best is of both, because usually both sides, while they might not always be the most spot on, they've always got really good ideas, and there's always truth to what everyone says, even if some things aren't as good or as balanced. Yeah, hearing out both sides and creating your own opinion that's that is well considered and is taking into account all the facts and weighing them up. Like, people always have advice for you, but I think the best advice is to take all the advice, look at what the facts say, look at what is recommended by experts, and form your own opinion based on the facts by experts and from your own experiences. Like, I mean, experts don't always get it right, but they're right 99% of the time. And most things that are confirmed by a ton of experts generally are more credible than things that are given to you by a, you know, person who's gotten all of their education on medicine from, you know, some YouTube videos from weird conspiracy people. Like, I know who I'd trust more. I'd trust a doctor way more than I'd trust some, you know, weird, health guru sort of person. Like, one person has studied for like 8 years, or, you know, 6 years, 6 to 10 years, on their medical license or whatever. And so I'm going to trust someone who's only spent like a few years reading some articles and, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that all of them are necessarily stupid, but I just think that they're misinformed, and some things are like, come on, like, really? Some of it's common sense that you'd think they'd, yeah, like, just certain things that they come up with, it's like, what? Did you even pass biology? Like, or science? Like, I just don't get how you can't see certain things and just be like, yeah, I agree with that, because it's common sense. And, like, for it to be a conspiracy theory and for people to be conspiring against everyone, like, there's millions of doctors and you think they all are in on the same conspiracy. They're like, there are some things that are just a bit too far out. Like, I will admit some conspiracy theories are quite believable and there's probably some truth to it. Like, the whole Bush did 9/11 thing. That is, I can somewhat believe that because I wouldn't put it past a particularly, like, a bad government or the American government with the CIA to create something like that for a narrative to go after. I totally think that is plausible. I don't think it's the most believable, but I think it's plausible. I think that could very well have happened at some point. I mean, the CIA did all of that testing on African Americans with like that drug, so LSD, in the 70s and 80s. So yes, they have definitely done some fucked up shit, and there's been some conspiracies that actually are true. But do I necessarily jump to that conclusion straight away? No. There needs to be evidence, and I don't think until there's like a proper inquiry and it's actually been done, I'm not going to just take it at face value and be like, yeah, that's completely the truth. And like, for me to believe something like that, I need to see evidence that's credible, of some kind. If I have like a first-hand account and I've actually experienced it myself, then yes, I'll believe it. But if it's something that, you know, if someone said, oh, I heard this other person say that they know someone who saw this happen, it's like, there's so many, you know, it's gonna end up like Chinese whispers where, you know, it's been kind of changed quite a few times from person to person, and it's not actually quite accurate. Do I think aliens exist? Probably. I mean, the fact that the universe is so expansive, there's bound to be other intelligent life out there somewhere. Whether or not they're very similar to humans, or whether they are completely different but have some characteristics. Like, I mean, it's definitely possible. I think, with the whole universe being as large as it is, I think out there somewhere there's definitely life, intelligent life like us somewhere. In this galaxy, possibly, but less likely, because Earth is quite a special planet, because you need like the right sort of environment and the right conditions to be a planet that can support life. So, I mean, yes, it's possible, but and we don't know whether the next intelligent life we come across, whether it's going to be as advanced as us, whether they're going to have space travel, or whether they're going to be eons ahead of us and, you know, are super futuristic and have all this technology. We just don't know. And they might not know we exist, they might know we exist but don't want to interfere, or they might be aggressive. Like, you just don't know. There's so many possibilities, and I really hope that in my lifetime I get to see all of this change and get to see people exploring new planets, and just like the average person being involved in space travel and visiting new worlds, like that Star Trek sort of stuff. Like that would be so cool. And I hope at least by the time I'm 100 that I at least get to go out in space at least once, and get to go visit another planet, even if it's just for like a few months or even a few days. Like, that would be so cool. Yeah, I hope I get to see that. And I think there's lots of strides being made in the space industry. Like, now that privatization is kind of coming into its own, like, as in, you know, private companies are doing space exploration and that sort of stuff, rather than NASA and other government organizations doing it. I think that's a really huge step forward, that opens up more funding and more possibilities. I still think NASA should be the lead and other space agencies should be the lead, but I do think, yeah, it's important that private industries are able to channel money into it and invest and create new technology, because often the private companies will have way more funding than NASA would, even though NASA have billions. Like, private companies have trillions, and they have way more ways to get resources than the government does, in some senses. So, I mean, I would really look forward to when that actually comes available to like the general public, to be able to go into space. And even if like terraforming happens on Mars and we're able to establish a colony on there, like, that would be so awesome. And yeah, it would just be really cool. Obviously we've got a long way to go. Like, there's space travel as we see it in, you know, Star Trek, or even like, you know, just passenger travel is not at a point where it's accessible for everyone, or the general public at the moment. It's something that still needs a lot of work and a lot of refining and more efficiency put into it, because like, to do space tours or whatever, like, you can actually do ones where you go into like the upper atmosphere, or like kind of go into space, but it's not really space, it's just below that. So I mean, you can do those tours, but they cost like millions of dollars per ticket. So it's like, yeah, you can kind of do it, but not really, and you have to be like a billionaire to be able to afford it. So yeah, until it becomes affordable, like, the most, like, I think when it gets to like around the like maybe $3,000 mark, or something in like a 4-digit range, I think then be more commonplace, and people will be willing to like spend, the general public will be willing to spend money on it, not crazy rich billionaires and celebrities. So yeah. So yeah, like I said, there's a long way to go, but I think there's definitely huge potential, and it's, as you know, they say in Star Trek, space, the final frontier. Like, it's the next thing that we haven't really explored. The things that like are left to explore, like a lot of the Earth has now been explored, but there's still space out there to explore, and so many other planets. But also on Earth, we've got underwater. Like, underwater is something we have not completely explored. There's so much at the deepest parts of the ocean that there's still life and species we probably haven't even seen or discovered or know of, because it's beyond where we've explored so deep that there could be so much stuff underneath the ocean that we don't know about. And yeah, so deep sea exploration is another thing that I think has a lot of potential as well. What do I like better? I probably like space better, because I feel like space would be less scary than deep sea, to be honest. How did that fucking like 3-shot me? Anyway, I think space exploration is something that would be less scary, and I don't want to say one's more dangerous than the other, but I feel like space would be safer in some ways, and also you get I don't want to say a welcoming environment, but I feel like deep sea would be very scary and very you wouldn't be able to see a whole lot because it'd be so dark under there. But I feel like space would be a lot better, because there's obviously a lot more light. There's a lot more places to explore, and a lot more variety, I feel like, and it would be, yeah, it just generally be better. But do I think we could have an underwater city at some point? Like, that would be pretty cool. I mean, I think that we could definitely build more cities underwater or underground, or like, there's so much more space and lots of stuff at the bottom of the ocean that not necessarily that deep, but like we've used up a lot of land and resources on on the surface, but if we build like more things underwater or underground, like I think obviously there'll be a lot more room and a lot more way to utilize the planet than just chopping down all the trees on the surface and just creating mega cities. Like, I don't think that's completely sustainable. I think there needs to be some, yeah, more sort of subterranean type of living, but the only problem that comes along with that is people not getting vitamin D from the sun. So there needs to be a way to, other than just vitamins, but other ways to get that vitamin D, I suppose. So I think that's another possibility. I think going forward, maybe in the next 50 years, we'll see more of that type of style of city and accommodation. Like, I think, like, maybe not something completely like Rapture from Bioshock, but something that has elements of that would be really cool. The only thing that always scares me is, like, I swear every movie that has a setting in some sort of underwater thing, there's always that scary possibility of, like, you know, what if someone shoots the window, like, you know, or the glass, and, you know, water comes flooding in. Like, there obviously needs to be so many precautions and, like, safety mechanisms to stop that from happening. But I definitely think something like that is possible. Like, I mean, like, that can happen on a plane too, with, like, the whole air being sucked out, and if, you know, if there's a hole in the fuselage, then everything goes to crap. So, I mean, it's not impossible. Like, I think it would be definitely something that it's possible and something that would work kind of well. I just don't know if it's, like, the safest idea at this current stage of where our technology's at, but I definitely think in like 20 years time, I think there'll be a lot more yeah, awesome stuff like that being made. And I mean, there are some, oh my god, the frames are terrible right now. I'm getting 18 frames a second. Oh boy, this is yeah, really high frame rate, buttery smooth gameplay. But yeah, no, definitely, definitely I think there's a lot of potential for that sort of stuff. And I mean, there's lots of stuff that's already underground. Like, I mean, it's not like we don't have experience making things underground or even underwater. Like, we've made, you know, underwater. There's been underwater bases and, like, you know, other subterranean facilities and stuff that people regularly work in, or, you know, underground labs and stuff that exist. So obviously the biggest challenge, I think, of making that underwater underground living is, yes, is the having people get the right vitamins and getting vitamin D, because they'll lack the sunlight. So that's probably, I think, one of the biggest challenges, as well as the dangers of having things underground. And yeah, I'm just going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a sec. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are if you're interested in this stuff and you want to have a discussion or ask me a question about what I think about stuff. Because I'm a pretty science-minded guy. I like having discussions about this sort of stuff. So yeah, if you've got any cool questions you want to ask me or anything, literally, I'm happy to talk about anything, really. So if you've got anything cool you want to ask me, and want me to answer while I'm streaming, yeah, give me a comment, DM me, whatever. I'm happy to answer any questions. So yeah, there is no such thing as a stupid question. So yeah. Anyway, I'll be right back. So yeah, be back in a few minutes. Yeah. And we are back in business. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, back onto the game. Actually need to launch it again because I think it was running really slow before. Like, I don't know if you remember, but it was running at like 15 to 20 FPS. So, and I don't know what would have been causing all of the performance issues. I don't think, is it a CPU bottleneck maybe? I'll just close a few of the other tabs that I've got open because I don't want that to be impacted. So yeah, I don't know what else could be bottlenecking it. Look at Task Manager. Really, the only thing that is using the CPU is Streamlabs, Elden Ring. Yeah, that's really it. Nothing else is using that. Oh, and the GPU, it's really Streamlabs and Chrome. Oh, not Chrome. Streamlabs and and Elden Ring. So I don't know why it's being bottlenecked today. It's weird. But anyway, yeah. Alright, let's get on with the game. I'll just load in. And we can transition back to the game. By the way, you lost the game. Bet you haven't thought about that one for a while. Sometimes I'm pretty immature, other times I'm pretty mature, but excuse me, why is... Oh, there we go. Came up fine, alright, easy. Okay. So we're in the capital. Yeah, for some reason it tends to, I think it's like the leaf particles that makes the frames drop quite a bit. So I've noticed in Lanedale I always get, or especially the capital near the Erd Tree, I always get frame drops. And I think it's because of the leaves. That's from, as far as I can tell, that's what tends to cause it. So let's summon our Mimic. Thermagard, Golden Valve, let's the Erd Tree. Like if I wanted to, I could pretty much play this build like magic only. It's powerful enough to do that, and has enough resources to sustain itself as well, so you can really tackle any content in the game because it has so much flexibility. You use melee, you use any type of magic. The only thing I can't really use is things that use arcane. I mean, if I wanted, I could put a few points into arcane, and then I could use pretty much every spell in the game. Like, I've almost got the stats to use every spell in the game. And I really like the whole defensive mage type of build. It makes things really interesting. Like, look at all these attacks I'm tanking without losing any stamina. Like, Barricade Shield is OP. It is so good, especially on yeah, medium shields that have high guard boost. You add that on, and then it's like you have the Fingerprint Stone shield. Like, it's just insane. You can tank pretty much every attack, which is really good. The only problem is if you want to use Scholar's Shield with any shield, the only problem with that is that it will, if you have Barricade Shield, it will get rid of Barricade Shield, or if you use Barricade Shield when something's already got Scholars on it, it will get rid of it as well. So you can only have one of them active at once, but if you want to run like the Carrion Knight Shield, for example, and you want to have 100% magic resistance while having alright guard boost, you can run that with Carrion Retaliation and use Scholar's Shield, and it will work really well. Actually, I want to try using Scholar's Shield for a bit, just so I can show you how it kind of works. And so from the wiki says that Scholar's Shield gives plus 30% guard boost, while fuck, I can't believe I died to that. Yeah, so Scholar's Shield gives 30% guard boost and plus, I think it's plus 30% damage reduction for everything, and then, but specifically for magic, it's 70%. So pretty much any shield that has over 30 magic resistance, magic damage reduction, then you pretty much have 100% magic resistance, which is really cool. Like, I think that's amazing. Sorry, not resistance, damage reduction. So they're two different things. So I suppose we could get rid of a spell, not heal, maybe. Okay, let's change things up a bit. So we could add, okay, so let's add back in a regular spell. So we'll go Full Moon, Comet Shard. We might get rid of Carrion Slicer and just go with that. So actually what we might do is put the Scholar's Shield there and then go Moonblade, Try and pierce it, and then we'll go... Oh crap, I forgot. Got Comet Shard. So we'll go Comet Shard, and then Moonblade, Piercer, and then our usual buffs. Golden Bow and Earth Tree. Okay, so that should be good. So, what I can now do... So I'll... Actually, let's first do like a damage comparison between Scholar Shield and Barricade Shield, because you can use it on something that has Barricade Shield, it's just one will overwrite the other. So we can test them both out and we can see what the difference is. So let's go to Secluded Cell so I can show you what a giant, because generally giants take quite a bit of stamina out of your block, like they do pretty heavy attacks. So if we test it out on him, we can see the difference. So I'll just kill the smaller enemies so that they don't get interfered with the testing. Okay, so let's see how Barricade Shield performs. So let's get the aggro of the giant. And we'll see how much stamina it takes away. A very, very minuscule amount. Okay, now let's see what Scholar's Shield does. Significantly more, significantly less stamina or guard boost. But Barricade Shield doesn't actually reduce the damage. The damage taken. So yeah, so if you have something that has like a 95% where you're infused your shield, adding in Scholar's Shield actually can be pretty useful, but the only problem is you have to have a staff in your right hand to be able to cast it. So if you're using a build like mine, it actually works pretty well. But otherwise, generally for most builds, Barricade Shield is just going to be much easier, and you don't need to invest in intelligence to use Barricade Shield. It's just anyone can use it that has a shield. So what I might do is I might try this out. So if I go that and I try Magic Grass Shield. Oh, I don't actually need to, or I can try it. Is there anything else that really will benefit it? Cold doesn't really... If I had a Shield Bash, it would actually... I might do that, to be honest. Might try a Cold Infusion, and then instead of that, I'll do Shield Crash and go Cold. That way I can get a lot of status build up. I was doing this before. I had sort of like a Shield Bash build with Frost and Fire weapons, but I'll see how this goes. We go Shield. So theoretically, if we get someone attacking us, we should have 100% damage reduction, maybe not. That seemed like it was pretty much 100%, so maybe they do more than physical. So try. Also, Scholar's Shield lasts a lot longer than Barricade Shield, so that's always a positive. So Scholar's Shield would probably be more useful on Great Shields. So I might actually see. We have what do we have? We have 22 strength. Oh no, sorry, we have 16. So actually this is probably the best we can do at this point. But I could always try and invest a little bit in strength. I'll get the next best thing for this. So what is this like normally if we're not using Scholar's Shield? I don't actually notice the difference in guard boost. Maybe it's literally just damage negation. I feel like it's just damage negation. If we do that and then try get him to bait us again, I definitely don't think there's any damage. Guard boost added to it. I think it's literally just damage reduction. Okay, that versus come on. Very minuscule. Very, very minuscule. But it definitely, I think it definitely increases the damage reduction. Yeah, I'd say that increases the damage reduction. And we do get to have a shield bash if we do use that, so. And also it's kind of cool having the glowing blue shield. So I wonder how it would perform on the Carrion Knight shield. And probably the Carrion Knight shield, if we infuse it, probably end up doing more magic damage, to be honest. Yeah, because it actually has natural intelligence scaling. So, we could try, well then why did I put retaliation on it if I'm not gonna... Anyway, Ashes of War, so we'll make it shield crash, and we'll go cold. So if we go to scholars, okay, let's test out the damage reduction and the guard boost. Let's see. So if you want to do a shield bash build, Scholar's Shield, yeah, it can work quite well. Come on. Raw. That's not bad for a medium shield that doesn't have super high guard boost. So what is it? It's only got 49 at almost plus 25, so like, and what does Brush Shield is 56, so only actually slightly higher. I think when it's infused it doesn't have as good guard boost, so but yeah, Barricade Shield is still superior in terms of just tanking all the attacks, but for actually reducing the damage you take, Scholar's Shield is still the best. And I'll put both of them on and we'll see like what the damage difference is between the two. So if the other one does more damage, I might just end up using that, but I just do like the Carrion Shield. It's kind of it's cooler design, but so status. So left arm at 1, 411 versus 376. So Carrion Knight Shield does more damage. So okay, so I might end up using that. And it weighs less anyway, so we might have a bit more flexibility with some extra equipment and stuff. So yeah, no, that could work pretty well. Let's buff up the storage. What I could do is I could replace the Blessed Dew Talisman with the Great Shield Talisman, and then that increases it to, I don't know, it doesn't come up on it, but you might be able to tell the difference. Oh yeah, I can, but that would have taken all my stamina pretty much with the other one, so. Oh yeah, that's perfect. let's try the brass shield and see how it performs with great shield. Almost very similar. Probably better off with that. What has a much higher guard boost? Is there anything that I can use that's high guard? That is 52, so I've fully upgraded, that would probably be better. But again, yeah, it's not really that's not really gonna work. I mean, Fingerprint Stone Shield is always going to be the best shield, but it just weighs so much. It weighs as much as, like, the Greatsword in a shield. So it's like, do you really want to commit to that high guard boost? But, like, it's just a lot to ask for. Golden Great Shield is much more manageable. It's 17, but it does have 77 guard boost. So, I'm tempted to use that. It's a tough decision. Banished Knight Shield actually might be decent. That's 56, that's 55. That's upgraded though. I also want something that's kind of in theme as well. But I don't know. Icon Shield? No? Golden Great Shield might work really well, but the thing is, I have to have 34 strength, and this build doesn't have a lot of room to have strength. Like, I mean, if I go a little bit higher to like 250, yeah, sure, I can do that, but I mean, I don't particularly want to go that high for just a shield when I can use the Carrion Knight Shield or the Brass Shield. I might consider something a bit Banished Knight Shield. Like Banished Knight Shield, I'm considering. What's the difference? So it has less resistance than, or less magic resistance, but it does have a higher guard boost. You know what? I'll try upgrading it and seeing how it performs. Actually, best. I'm gonna look up what the best guard boost shield to weight ratio. I have no idea what that shield is. Shielded Beastman, Jar Shield, no. Jellyfish Shield. Like, I mean, I might try out. I could always try out the Jellyfish Shield and see how it does, because it is kind of cool. But would I use it as much? I don't know. I guess I always do have my shield out, so it's not like it's going to be annoying having to swap back to a different weapon, a different like side thing. So Carrion Knight Shield, Brass Shields. I'm surprised it's not number one. Dragonclaw Shield, and then Beastcrest Heater Shield. That's best starter shield. Oh, and they've put Erdtree Great Shield in number one. It's still a bit. And how much strength does that need? I think it's like 30, isn't it? Yeah, it's 30. It doesn't weigh as much as the Golden Great Shield. It doesn't have as much guard boost, but it does have Golden Retaliation, which is pretty cool. Maybe I should respec. The question is, what's the weight ratio going to be like? I'm at a heavy load. Oh, it's not that much more than what I was at before. But if I get rid of the Ritual Sword Talisman and I put on Great Jars, I'll still be at a medium load, even with. Okay, I won't be with the Golden Great Shield, but Erdtree I will. And can you enchant it with Scholar's Shield? Oh, you can. Oh, that's really good. I think we've just found a new shield, boys and girls and people. Oh, that's sick. Okay. Well, let's go respec, shall we? I definitely have enough faith to use it, but it's gonna be the yeah, it's gonna be the strength that I need to upgrade. So I could take some points out of mind and put it into strength, or
Heart down.
I mean, it's definitely a lower investment than 48 for this fingerprint shield. Really, we don't need it. We probably just keep dexterity at 16. We don't need it for really anything else, so that should be fine for now. So intelligence, I'll keep it 70, so we've got a bit of extra points to faith, back to 42, because that's what we want. Arcane at base, endurance, 28, mind, might need to put it 40, 45, see how many points we have left over. Okay, yeah, take that out. Shit. Far out. I don't want to have less than 40 mind. Oh, this is annoying. Shit. I should be fine. If I use Great Jar's Arsenal, I should be fine at 26 endurance. So we'll try that. Should be good.
Now.
Shield will be alright. Yes, we're fine. And we might even be alright with no, okay, Erdtree's favor is a no-go. Okay. So we've got 60 guard boost, and we should be able to upgrade that with somber smithing stones, and that should increase the guard boost. So, ooh, new items can be purchased. Ooh. But yeah, I actually kind of, oh yeah, haven't defeated two. Have I defeated two demigods? No, I haven't. So yeah, it's interesting. So how many do we have? Enough somber of each? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, well, I'll upgrade this to +9 and see how it does. I think from memory, from seeing other people's builds with it, it goes up to 66, I want to say. But that's still, yeah, way better than 56 or 59 of the brass shield. So 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 9. Yeah, so 66. Okay, that's pretty good. And plus it has the best spell parry app, which is better than Karen Retaliation after it had its nerf. Like, I still think it's Golden Retaliate. I think it's called Golden Retaliation, is that right? Yeah, still way better than Carrion Retaliation. Like, I like Carrion Retaliation's aesthetics and design better, but Golden Retaliation just does more damage, just generally. So if we go to the Academy, we can test out the Retaliation and see how what it's like upgraded. Yeah. So we have a little bit less mind, but not a huge deal. Oi. Is there something I'm not doing right with this spell shield? Like, I feel like it should be blocking more damage. Oh, look at that! Almost 1,000 damage on a spell parry. Whereas Carry and Retaliation only does... Damn. Whereas Carry and Retaliation only does, like, comparatively, only does about... I want to say about 300 damage? Like, before its nerf, it was doing upwards of, like... Oh, upwards of about 2,000 or 3,000 damage. So Carry and Retaliation was way better for a while. But having 1,000 damage, that's way better. And plus better guard boost. Do your worst. That's so much, I feel like that's so much more satisfying than Carry and Retaliation. So much more satisfying. Is it actually... So yeah, I think I've found the new addition to my build. I still think for lower levels you won't be able to use the shield. Like maybe if you drop down to 32 faith, is it 32 or 36? I'm trying to remember what you need for might be 34 for I can look it up. For the Lord's version of each. So Lord's heal needs 20, so you can use that, and the Blessings boon you need 24. So really you can get away with 30 faith, or even 25, and then put on the I'm trying to remember which one of these it is. It's the two fingers heirloom to get 30 faith, and then you can run with that. So that's what I do at like a 150 build, and focus on getting like the 30 strength, maybe even using a source seal to get the extra stats. So yeah, so I think that's probably your best bet, and you easily meet the faith requirement. But yeah, strength is the trickier thing. Yeah. But yeah, if you wanted to make this a 150 build, you just cut mind by about 10 points to 30. Lower intelligence to something like 68 or 60. Because you have to shave off 53 levels to make it a 150 build. So you could lower vigor by 10. That's pushing it a bit, but yeah, you could lower that by 10, so that's 10 there. 10 off of mind, so 20. So now you've got 30 mind. Take 10 off of intelligence, that's... Wait, so 10 off of vigor, 10 off of mind, 20, 10 off of intelligence, that's 30, 10 off of faith, or 12 off of Faith. That's 40, 42. So you just need another 8 levels from something. And then you've got a 150 build, which works quite effectively. I mean, you could even lower intelligence by another 8, so lower it from 50 to 40. Yeah, still that's a bit low. I think you want to keep it definitely at 50, but yeah, at least 50. But 60 is the preference. That way, yeah, if you were using that, yeah, you can still use Lysats, or you could use Carrion, but Lysats probably outperforms by a lot more at that, the lower level of intelligence, so, but yeah, and even then, yeah, you could use Source Seals, you could use, I'd probably use the, since you still need Endurance and Vigor and all that, I'd probably use the Radagon Source Seal over the Marika's Source Seal. I mean, you can use either, because we do use Intelligence, Faith, Mind. The only thing we don't use is Arcane. So really, the only thing you'd be wasting is the points into Arcane. So, but then again, we don't really use Dexterity, so there is a bit of wastage on both sides. But I feel like you get better value with the Radagon's Source Seal than you do with the Marika's Source Seal in this case. But yeah, it depends, so, yeah. But I think this is a decent thread. We've got Godfrey Icon to boost Dark Root Greatswords, weapon art, and heavy attack damage, because it is affected by Godfrey Icon. Then we've got Radagon Icon to increase the casting speed, yeah, and Godfrey for the charge spells like Carrion Piercer, Comet Shard, that sort of stuff. So we've got Great Shield, we've got Great Jar's Arsenal for the equip load, and yeah, Great Shield, yeah, guard boosting abilities. So yeah, I think it works quite well. Obviously this is, yeah, it's better, works better for a New Game Plus and like beyond level 150. Like, you can make it work, especially if you're just only going to use it for PvP. And I mean, generally, if you're not really interested in PvP, you're going to level past 150 anyway if you're just playing through New Game Plus. Like, not many people, if they're not Souls veterans, or they're not people that really love the PvP and that's all they really want to do going forward, they're not going to stay at 150. They're going to level to, like, where I'm at, which is 200. And you still get PvP and invasions and all that at this level. It's not like it's completely dead. So I mean, that's kind of what I think about that. So like, if I was doing a PvP only build, I would keep it at 150 for the consistency. But at my level, there's just more freedom of what you do with your build. So I just generally like that better. Does it only use FP if it actually connects? Oh yeah, it does. That's like that's such a cheap way of doing damage, because you don't use that much FP when you use Golden Retaliation, so it's kind of like a, yeah, really efficient way of doing like 1,000 damage. Like, you do more damage with Retaliation than you do with 900. Yeah, it's pretty good. Although I'd probably swap it out for the final boss potentially. That's doing quite a bit of chip damage. But if I put on Scholar, can you give me 1 second to buff my shield, please? So now if I see how much damage it does. Oh yeah, much less damage. You can barely see the, yeah. No, that's definitely worth it. That's perfect. Yeah, no, that works pretty well. Let me go back to the capital. Yeah, no, I'm actually kind of happy with how that works. I still like the concept of Barricade Shield a lot better because it feels kind of cool to use that to buff your shield just before an attack comes in. Like I think that's more rewarding playstyle, but I think this is more effective, to be honest. But I'll probably flip-flop between the two, depending on how I'm feeling. If I need to wear a bit slightly better armor, then I might, yeah, I might always do that. Could swap. Yeah, I could swap out the Great Shield for something else, since it has such high guard boost already, but I might keep the Great Shield Paladin for now. Although I don't like how bulky the shield is, like it's a bit too big for my liking, but it will do. Might end up just using the golden Great Shield. And put Shield Crash on the golden Great Shield maybe. Can I parry this? I think that works. It just didn't. I think it is sort of working. I can't really tell. Come on. I think there is an incantation you can pick up that is a buff to shields as well. So I wonder how useful that might be, or whether it's better than Scholar's Shield. I'll see if I can find it, but I don't know whether I've picked it up or whether I've seen someone in a playthrough have it. But there's definitely an incantation that does do that. Ring incantations. Incantations. Law of causality. Base claw. Doesn't help his. pest threads. That's one thing I don't have. I don't have pest threads, which could be useful. I also do want to get Stone of Grank because that's pretty good damage. Flame Grant, Strength, Ranks, Beast Claw. Like, yeah, there's quite a few of those that I want to get. Immutable Shield. This is it. So it needs 19 Intelligence, 19 Faith. Okay. So I suppose that works. As part of his quest to the west of the Erdtree Sanctuary. Oh, it does not offer an improvement. Nullifies elemental damage? Do you mean like it completely... What, does it completely... Yeah, there doesn't have much on the wiki about how much it actually reduces elemental damage. So it does say on the wiki about how much Scholar's Shield does. So at least there's some definitive, and I mean, I don't think anyone really uses a mutable shield. Like, if someone's going to use a spell on a shield, it's probably going to be Scholar's Shield. Okay, so it says that it increases guard boost by 25%, which is probably accurate. It says guarded damage negation plus 30%, and magic guarded damage negation plus 70%. Not sure about that much magic guarded damage negation. Could be, maybe. But yeah, definitely the regular damage negation 30, that makes sense. But you compare that with Barricade Shield, and Barricade Shield is so much more. It has a lot more guard boost. It doesn't give you any damage reduction, but it gives you plus 40% guard boost. That's almost double what Scholar's Shield gives you. And also Barricade Shield makes it a lot easier. It makes weapon attacks bounce off a lot more. And it costs 12 FP to use Barricade Shield each time, and it only lasts for 5 seconds. So, whereas Scholar's Shield costs 30, so it's about 3 times as much. But Scholar's Shield lasts 60 seconds, and you can boost it by what? 18 more seconds if you equip the Old Lord Talisman. So it lasts for a lot longer, so it's more efficient, but you don't get that huge guard boost reduction. You get a little bit, but only half as much, really. So but I mean, if you have a shield like the Fingerprint Stone Shield, for example, Barricade Shield's not going to do really anything for you, but Scholar's Shield will give you even more damage reduction and pretty much bump it up to 100%, basically. So now that kind of what makes me want to try using the Fingerprint Stone Shield. But I wouldn't be able to fit it weight-wise on my build. If I put a bit lighter armor on, I would. But what I might do is I might put on Radagon Saw Seal. And I'm still not going to have enough strength, but I could try and put on the Star Scourge Heirloom. Star Scourge. I only have 40, so I'm still going to be short 40. Yeah, that's not going to work. Let me put the Great Shield Talisman back on. The guard boost is 90, so if I put Scholar's Shield on, what's its damage reduction? So it pretty much has mostly, so if it reduces damage, all damage types by 30%, essentially you'll take no damage when you have Scholar's Shield on it. So literally you'll take, the only problem is it weighs so much, it's not really worth it. What about the Golden Great Shield? I'm considering getting it 4 extra strength to use for that. So it has, okay, so versus the Erd Tree, has more damage reduction and more guard boost. And you can infuse it with a different Astral Core. What does it look like aesthetically? Aesthetically, I like the Golden Great Shield better. It feels like a cooler shield, like as in it's not super round and like massive. It kind of like contours to the body a bit more. So I think fashion-wise, it looks cooler as well. But I'd need, if I went with Sword of Night and Flame, I'd be alright. But again, I need that extra strength. Out of here. Okay, so if I use Erdtree's Favor and Greatjar Arsenal, I'm willing to make that sacrifice, so we just need to somehow find another 4 points from something. So I suppose I could take 2 out of, I feel like I could take 2 out of Vigor maybe? And 2 out of a few other things, so yeah, I should be able to find the 4 points somewhere. And if I have to take it out of mind, I'll take it out of mind, but I feel like 40 is the lowest I'll go, because mind for like a mainly caster focus build, that's kind of what you want. I prefer to have 50, but I'll see if with Erdtree's Favor I can make do with 25. I should be able to, so we'll try that. So 34. I'll just keep it at maybe 15, so that way we've got a bit more to play with. 70. Faith 42. Damn it. I need 2 more points. 24 maybe? Okay, 23. This is going to be pushing it, but can always change our armor around.
Now.
Yes! Oh, but I've got Sword of Night and Flame, so that's why, but we need to equip that. So, got a heavy load. So what is... what is 63.5 divided by 1 point... No, not 1.2, 63 point... So what are we? 63.5 times... 0. No, divided by 63. Let's go 64 divided by 0.7. So it's 91. 91. So we need to have at least like 91 or 92 equip load total. Else we could. What's 88.5 times, we'll go 89 times 0.7, 62. So we need to be 62 or under. So what's something Fire Monk work? I'm trying to think of something that's like black or silver. Either one will work. Is Black Knife Gauntlets. I think Black Knife Gauntlets is best for weight ratio. We could try Blades Greaves. I don't know if they're heavier or lighter. They're heavier, okay. So we'll keep Black Knife Gauntlets, but we might try something different for the leggings. We could do that sort of... We do the waistcloth vibe. I'm not sure about the feet though. But it does kind of looks more like a, makes it more into a mage or like a nomadic warrior kind of vibe. So I do like that. That's kind of cool. But the poise is on the lower side at 34. But anything more than like 3 point, like 4 is basically the highest weight we can go with that. I'm happy with that for now. Not sure about the red though. That is a bit, doesn't fit with the build. Fur leggings? What does fur leggings look like? This is probably going to be weird. Yeah, nah, not really vibing with it. Could try. Actually, we could try Spellblade gloves and leggings, because that actually increases magic Ashes of War by, I think it's 2% per piece. So the only thing is, it color scheme wise, it doesn't really fit. I mean, the gold kind of goes with Malekith's, but I mean, technically, if we're min-maxing, that's probably the more efficient thing to do. So we'll go with that for now. Yeah, I mean, the gloves are fine, but yeah, it doesn't really go, to be honest. But I might end up just running that. But I do want something that looks a little bit. Okay, so Spellblade gloves, 0 poise. So anything with more than that's fine. So we could go Traveler's gloves. That has the gold coiling on it, which I do like. And we've at least got 30 base poise with Malekith's and Blade's armor. So I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad, because the Traveler's gloves are at least black, so that kind of works. So yeah, we'll do that. And that's medium, and we've got 31 poise. So can we do better than that? Champion braces. What about Nox? No, I don't like the white glove, to be honest. Gauntlets. Oh, it's the chain gauntlets. I mean, that gives 3 poise, so it's better. Kind of read, no. Ronin's is pretty good. Might keep that for the Greaves. What about Ronin's Greaves? Are they Preceptor's trousers? Actually, the Preceptor's trousers kind of blend well. That's no witch, no. Well, let's go Ronin gauntlets and Sanguine Noble waistcloth. I feel like that, even though there's the red, that's a good vibe. Or we could even try Land of Reed gauntlets. Yeah, why not? Try that. The red accent. Yeah, the red accent makes it look cool. Because we do use... Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. Yep, we'll go with that for now. For now, anyway. Yeah, we can medium roll, so... How much damage resistance do we have? 20. Kind of 20 across the board, which is not as much as I'd hope, but if we had, let's see what the difference would be if we go back to Black Knife. I mean, eventually I'm going to level this up more, so we'll probably go back to something heavier. But with the Great Shield, it's a bit hard to balance the weight. So if we go with Black Knife. Like ideally, I want to have full Malekith plus Blades chest. That would be the ideal. Black Knife. So we've got 41 poise, and then damage negation is... I mean, to be honest, it's not that much more. It's only like a few percentages higher. What if I do the Ronin's Gauntlet and keep the Black Knife Gauntlet? Still heavy. God damn it. The Black Knife must weigh around the same for that to be the case. Where is the Black Knife? So Black Knife. Yeah, it weighs about the same. But if we... What was the legs that I wore? Is this... So I can wear anything that's under... That's 3.9 or under. At least the Sanguine Noble waistcloth has poise, so that's always positive. So yeah, we'll do that. That's what we'll stick with. The Sanguine Noble trousers and the Black Knife gauntlets. Yeah, we'll do that for now. And have that sort of nomadic, sort of more mage type of look. Mage warrior. Okay. That took a little bit longer than than I thought it was going to take, but now we've got a pretty good build, and I want to put Shield Bash and infuse this with Cold potentially. I'll see how much it reduces the guard boost. If it bumps it down to around 73, that I'll be able to live with. So magic, yeah, it reduces it to 70. Yeah, it's still pretty good, and plus getting the extra magic to make it a bit more even. So if I do magic, it improves Holy, which is pretty good. So 70% magic reduction, and that's 65 versus 70. But 150 frost build up. Nah, that's too good to not pass to pass up. That is a lot of, that's a shit ton of frost, because my Darkmoon Greatsword only has 55, and that's kind of annoying because the frost doesn't actually scale on the Darkmoon Greatsword. It's just a flat. Well, I do suppose when you use the weapon skill, it does add another like 30 frost. So if you think about it, it does actually work out to be pretty good. So I'm getting 467 damage. Okay. And I have a very tiny, minuscule amount of weight to play around with. So I could actually add a parrying dagger or a parrying shield if I have enough equip weight for something really light. It would have to be under 3, so maybe a buckler or iron round. Iron round shield's too much, but a buckler should do it. Might end up upgrading a buckler. But yeah, just to buckler parry. If you add carrying retaliation, does it stay as buckler parry, or does it actually, like, does it still have the same frames? That's what I want to know. Standard. It's one thing I'm not sure about, but I think that works quite well. So if I do need a parry spells, I can just whip that out. And if I'm coming up against something that I know is going to use lots of spells, I can always switch over to the Erdtree Greatshield. So, I don't particularly need to upgrade that, but I probably do want to at some point. Okay, so with that, let's go to... Where's somewhere I can test parrying? I'll go to Gatefront, parry some of the Godric soldiers. Because yeah, that should be a bit better. Also, if you guys know how the hell I get some viewers, that would be much appreciated. So I'll try. So no, it just has the regular parry. So I mean, if I had more, takes up my whole stamina. Damn. There we go. Yeah, that works. Scholar's Shield. I mean, I could use Scholar's Shield on it, but I mean, it's not going to be worth it if I'm just parrying. Now, if I... Yeah, that's the only problem. If I need to two-hand this, I'll lose the Scholar's Shield on it. That is the only problem with this. I can't... There's no way to buff both my shield and my Darkwind Greatsword unless I have no skill. So I might actually end up doing that. I mean, but how often do I need to use both of them? To be honest, I use my spells more than I do my Dark Greatsword, so I might even end up switching to like the Wing of Estelle or something. Question is, do I have enough dexterity for the Wing of Estelle? I reckon I don't. Yeah, I don't. I need 17 dex, so... What have I got? Crap. I just triggered the damage. So I could use, the Wing of Estelle and save on some equip load. I still have the, I would still have the, wow. Good play. Oh. So I'd still have beam attacks, obviously not as powerful as the Darkwind Greatsword, but I would save on equip load and yeah, it'd just be a bit more nimble and a bit more fun maybe. So if I'm not using it as much, it's like why waste the equip load when I can have something that functions just pretty well. So I only need 2 more points, so I can take... Oh god, this is hard. I could always take 2 out of endurance and put it into dexterity, because I'll have enough equip load. Because Wing of Estelle only weighs 2.5, so that's a whole 7 equip load. 7 or 6.5? 6.5 shaved off of the build. So I think that's a pretty good trade. So if we go back to the Grand Library, we should be able to respec the decks.
Is it thy
Redex.
now?
So 17, 34 strength, 20 endurance, Mind 40. Figure 50. Intelligence 70. I could always bump it down to 68 if I'm gonna, when I eventually pick up Dark Moon, I might end up doing that. And 42 faith. And we've got 1 point spare, okay. If I put Dexterity to 18, then I can use Moon Veil, so that's probably a good backup option, so I'll do that. I'm not used to losing out on much stamina. So, how much damage is this doing? Decent amount. 520. And if I were to swap it out to Moon Veil, similar damage, slightly higher. But the only thing is that it doesn't really fit the theme as well. Oh, well actually it's moon themed, so I suppose it could work. It's just that I want a more long range option when it's in my right hand without having to two-hand it and lose the Scholar's Shield buff. So Wing of Estelle probably works out the best, but if I get into tough situations, the other one might be a bit better. Yeah, no, yeah. The only thing I wish Wing of Estelle had was Frost build up. Then it would be the perfect weapon. What I could do potentially, because I don't really need the buckler, I could always, instead of having the buckler, I could put in a Serpent God's Curved Sword, and when I want, swap out. But it's not really shield focused. I don't know. I want to still stay true to this build I'm doing, so that's probably better. And I can even can't get rid of Great Jar, but I can get rid of Erdtree's Fate. Oh, maybe not. Okay. So that kind of works out. Godfrey, Radagon, Great Jars, Erdtree. So I've got Buckler, Great Shield, Wing of Estelle. I want to get these all to +10s, so that's my next sort of goal after all that. So where did I? So I dropped 100,000 gate front. Go pick that up. Though I really like the Darkmoon Greatsword, I'm not sure I want to give it up. But yeah, the whole Darkmoon Greatsword works well for if I have Barricade Shield, but if I'm using Scholar's Shield, yeah, it just doesn't work out in the end because I'm having to two-hand the shield to apply the weapon buff. And I mean, I'm not using melee, so I might as well use something that weighs not that much and has better damage to weight ratio. And sure, the beams don't go as far. There's still like 1,000 damage, so it's like, it's pretty good. And plus the Nebula ability is good for AoE, much better than the Darkmoon Greatsword, so actually probably worked out better. Two can play at that game. Come on, come at me. Just play guard counters in the game. How much guard boost does that use up? And even though it's 95, I'm still getting that the damage reduction from Scholar Shield, so it's actually probably working out to be 100% now. So at least I'm still getting, like, if I want to apply Frostbite, I can always use the shield to do it, rather than my Darkman Greatsword. And I've also got, a Duelist Moonblade, so still kind of good. Okay, back to the capital. See how it fares against some of the enemies there. But if I'm using Scholar's Shield and I get 100% physical and the extra guard boost, it's basically making up for the cold infusion and the guard boost and physical that we're losing. So, I think that works out quite well. Like that. Down to the swords. Not the Omen Killer! Almost killed it. Ah, sorry about that. How did I get to out? How did I get to the sewers? I can't remember where. It's gone up here and then. Oh, I can get there from... What am I doing? I can get there from this way. Just rest at the bonfire. Bonfire, side of grace, jeez. Some habits don't change, do they? Jeez. They all haven't activated that. God damn it. just take a little quick break and I'll be back in a sec. Alright, we're back. I changed the build around a little bit. I mean, it's same stats, but I've actually found that, yeah, I actually like Barricade Shield better, and it generally... I just generally like Barricade Shield better. I feel like it feels like a more rewarding playstyle, and also I can have my Darkwing Greatsword buff it, as well as still being able to have the guard boost boosted by Barricade Shield, and not having to choose between the Darkwing Shield and the Scholar's Shield. So I think that works quite well. So, and we only have 20 endurance, but we're a medium load, which is good. So we've got Great Jar's Arsenal, Blessed Dew, Radagon, Godfrey, and then Malachus, Blades, and Black Knife. So I think that works pretty well. And I don't have any Great Rune. I have a Great Rune equipped, but I don't have it activated, so so it's not dependent on a Great Rune, so it's really positive. So, and we do tons of damage. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the reduced stamina though. I think I need to reallocate my stats now that I don't need to use as much strength. Yeah, I defeated Melania with this build, basically. This exact build. Well, weapons, talismans was slightly different, but basically the same. And I was able to beat her pretty quickly. Especially what really works well for Melania is if you're a sorcerer, chain casting, carry, and piercer, chain charging it to its full extent will knock Melania over, and you can keep her stun locked. Doesn't work in the second phase, but for the first phase, you can pretty much do the whole phase with just carry and piercer, and it works really well. So that's how I did it. Bit of a cheese, but you know, Melania is really tough, and it doesn't help in the second phase. So basically, the second phase you're still kind of screwed. Well, not screwed, but you've got to find other ways to utilize things to your advantage, to your benefit. So if we go back to Grand Library, so I might be able to, I'm trying to think, do I want to go to so I'll keep 70 intelligence.
Is it thy wish?
Birth? Yes.
Now.
We'll go 50 vigor, mind 40, endurance. Looks like 25 is a good, 26 is 123, it's 121. Try 25. Strength, you need 16, dex, 16, do 18, I'll go 16. 17 in case we want to use Wing of Estelle. Or actually 18 for Moonveil, so we'll keep it at that. Intelligence 70. The rest into, well, not the rest interface, but 42. So we've still got 13 points to work with, so 13 points. Could put some into Arcane so you can use dragon spells, but I'm more of a sorcerer than I am a faith incantation caster. It's tricky. So I could put 10 into intelligence, and then the rest into mind. I have 70. How much more AR am I getting? How am I getting more AR with before? So if I'm at 70, how is 778 going to 755 when I'm not? Oh, strength. Oh, that makes sense. But 80. Do I want to go 80? What? I feel like 80 is just too far. I don't know. We'll see how much. Get to 45. 50. How many points? I have 3 points left over from here. So we've got 50, 25. I like that better. So we get more stamina. And it's just overall more well-rounded, I think. So now we have 90, we've got 89 loads, so we might even be able to sneak in Malekiths, maybe? Maybe? Yeah, we can. Okay. So now we've got Malekith's full set minus the chest piece, and all with a medium load. So what's 89.5? I will go 90 or 89 times 0.7. So I can have up to 62 equip loads. So I've still got another however many units for something. So the carrion shield might be pushing it, but oh no, it's not. Okay. So we can actually use that for our spell parry shield and still be about 1.5 units under. Okay, that works well. Okay, so in that case, we will change the Asher War back to Carrion Retaliation. Carrion Retaliation, yep. Magic. Yep. So that works really well. So current build is 50 vigor, 50 mind, 28 endurance, 16 strength, 18 dexterity, 70 intelligence, 42 faith, and base arcane. Awesome. And I got how much poise? 45 poise. It's probably my favorite armor set combination. Just looks really badass. Yeah, okay. For my spell, I'm happy with the spell loadout. Got Renalas, Glintstone, Moonblade, Slicer, Piercer, Golden Vow, Blessed Third Tree. I don't know what spell slot I'm actually missing, because you're supposed to have 10 by endgame, or if you get all of the memory stones. So I've got to look up what ones are missing. You can get up to 8 memory stones. Demi-human queen Maggie. Northeast of Hermit Village. I don't think I've done that one. I think I've done all the towers, but I don't think I've done the demi-human queen Maggie, because I don't remember fighting a demi-human queen in Mount Gelmir. So I'll try fighting her. So that is there. Okay, so if we go Hermit Village location. Oh, okay, so you have to go. Oh, you've got to go up. You gotta go through Volcano Manor. Oh, well, not in Volcano Manor. Okay, so I've got to go around. Oh, it's past Hermit's Shack. Okay. Alright. Alright. In that case, let's go to Mount Gelmir. So we start from the... I'm gonna go... Winton Ruins. We need to go there, and then through here. So let's go to Old Alters Tunnel. Hope you like the music, by the way. The jazz, thought it's nice vibe, and ooh, solid 20 FPS. Lovely. Go this way. So I don't have enough to level up. Okay. Whoa, okay, that's a bit of a drop. So I think we don't go down that way because then we can't actually make our way up. We need to go this way. No? Maybe not? Maybe we do have to go down that way. Maybe we go around this way. Oh no, we go that way, that's right. Go up here. Oh yeah, that's right, and there's the Mariner here. Get the Mariner. Okay, we're on our way. Run away from misery to happiness. Yeah. Big ass dung beetle. A bow ash. How useless. Nah. Bows aren't actually that bad. It's just that if they had better scaling, slightly better mobility, they would actually be really, really good and overpowered. But unfortunately, bows have terrible scaling. Pretty much most of them only scale with quality, and they're just, yeah. If they had better scaling, they'd be awesome, and also a bit more variety or options to change the damage types. So like maybe having a magic bow as like a backup for a sorcerer, like that would be really, really cool. But again, bows don't have that many options. And I'd really like to see in the DLC, I'd really like to see them flesh out bows a bit more and make them slightly more yeah, more viable and more fun. One thing I will admit, Radahn's bow is actually really good. If you have a quality build and you use his great arrows with his bow, and using Radahn's Rain, Ash, War, that does a ton of damage. So if you have enough time to cast it, that Ash War with the bow does ridiculous amounts of damage. It's really good. It's really strong. But you have to be specifically using his Radahn's great arrows, or Radahn's spear arrows, his great bow, and that Ash of War. So it's very situational, but if you do have the time to cast it and you get all the arrows all hitting the one target, it can do like upwards of like 4,000, 3,000 damage. It's quite a lot. And certain builds and talismans can make it even better. So yeah. So now we gotta go around. So this is Fort Blade. There's something here, but I can't remember what they have. There's a few items around here. But that's not what we're interested. What we're interested in is getting to the Hermit Village. Oh, this is where the magma. It's a magma worm boss fight, isn't it? Yeah, thought so. Let me get that lob! Oh, damn it. Ow, ow, ow. Whoa, I have not seen that. That's pretty epic. I need to aim for bloody head. This is the Hermit Shack, isn't it? Yeah. Where you get Golden Bow. Oh no, Roiling Necklace, sorry. I thought Golden Bow's also in this area somewhere. Or I might be confusing that with a different area. And then this is Hermit's Village up here. What is that? It's a rune bear. I think that's what they're called. Alright. No! Oh no. He's doing a hug attack. Well, that's not fun. least we haven't spawned that far away. So that's pretty good. We don't have that far to go. Ooh, the frame drops. Oh. Don't mind me. Does turret get damaged by the lava? Oh yeah, he does. Cool. I don't take damage. Oh my god, it's so tanky. I might be better off doing guard counters. Okay, I gotta wait for its second attack. Damn it. I'm gonna get my souls, sorry, my runes. I'm gonna get them, go back, level up, and then I'll probably end the stream there. And then we'll leave the rest for either later today or tomorrow. I'll do another stream. Yeah. Let's go get them runes. Yeah, that is one tanky bear. Like, Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, thank you for tuning into the stream or watching it afterwards as a replay, but or a VOD or whatever it's called. I want to do her edition. Thank you guys for watching, and I will